on Instagram to figure out that I did a live video here. Got people live on 3 different channels, 4 different channels technically. Let's go with this. So if you have not tuned in the last 2 days, I've actually been setting you up, showing you, telling you, teaching you about the positive parts of the rich, abundant mindset. And then I'm also teaching you the poor, the rich, the poor scarcity mindset, because not everybody is aware that they actually have it. They just don't understand that they have it. So some of the examples I have gave on day 1, which was yesterday of this, because there was a pre-video that I did to all of this. I was talking about how the difference between the 2 groups of people. You'll have to go back and watch that video. But yesterday's video that I did for what rich people do versus the poor people, I hope that was very helpful and insightful, because that really cuts down like the bread and the butter of the character traits, the personality traits. Character and personality are 2 different things, at least in my mind they are. And then also you get to notice like the difference of like what the rich people do versus the poor people. And again, that was from day 1. That was yesterday. Today, I'm going in about signs of lack. And you're like, what does that have to do with the scarcity poor mindset and the rich abundant mindset? Everything, okay? So you think about it. I'm going to go through these different signs, and then I'm going to tell you the differences between what the rich people have. Okay, so signs of lack. It's more of your breathing from your chest instead of the abdomen. There are people that are in signs of lack again. They also have that stressed, they feel tension in their back, especially the low back. The low back and the shoulders and the neck always seem to be hurting on these people. Now, people that don't understand body syndromes, that's a body syndrome. When your low back is hurting and there's no known medical reason why, and sometimes even when there is a known medical reason why, I am living proof that when you're stressed and you're feeling tension from being in that lack, it affects the low back 100%. In fact, when I had back surgery, I had SI joint surgery. That's low back surgery. It's right above the tailbone area. It's right in like the lowest part of the back you can go where you're sitting. I had back surgery. I should have never had back surgery, but that's a whole other day for a whole other game that doctor was playing. He is fired, thank God. But in the meantime, I have noticed, because modern medicine with Western medicine is so gung-ho on, let's cut the person open instead of investigating the real root cause of why a person has an issue. I fell victim to get back surgery done. And again, that's for a whole other day. Right now, I'm focusing on for that stress, that feeling tension in the low back, the shoulders, the neck. Like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders when you're constantly worried about money. And it affects the neck. That's why you have trouble turning your neck sometimes. Or it can just be like you just feel so weighted down because you've got to meet these deadlines. You've got to make things happen. You carry a lot of tension in them shoulders. And again, like I said, in the low back for that reason. Now, when you have money, this is why I said I know for a fact I didn't need the back surgery, was because after I learned about hypnosis, after I've had that experience of when I have had a large sum of money in, I don't have any back pain at all whatsoever. I have nothing for back pain. Feels really wonderful to not have back pain. The rest of the time, it exists because when you're in that signs of lack. So here's another one for about lack. You're worried about bills, or you have anxiety when thinking about your bills, or like when you're running around and you're just like, oh, I got to pay this bill. Oh, I got to pay this bill. They just keep coming in, and just like, my God, when are the bills ever going to stop just coming in? You're secretly upset or mad at others have made it, and you're still working a lot. You're working extremely hard. You're getting paid $10 an hour. Woohoo. Meanwhile, the doctors and the nurses that have done more than you, done more education than you, are getting that $20, $30 an hour that you are not getting. But you still haven't made it even with that $10 an hour paycheck, okay? And so you're not happy with what you have. You basically don't have any gratitude. Why should you be thankful? You're doing all this work and no one seems to even care that you even exist, that you're even doing anything. In fact, your employers are like, if you show up, you show up. They're so hungry to have anybody that walks in that's breathing and has a pulse, they'll take. That's a lot of the mentality at a lot of businesses, and it's very saddening that as long as you got a pulse, they'll hire you. And this is also signs of lack. Businesses show this as well, believe it or not. That's why I went down that business route. They also believe that money is not important. That's the major sign that you are in lack, is that you believe that money is not important, or only the rich get richer, aka they're greedy. So if you see rich people as greedy, they're holding on to everything. Why don't they just give out their money? Why should they? They went out and did more than you were willing to do. The rich people don't owe you anything. Nobody owes you anything in this life. You owe it to yourself to get off your butt and go make things happen in life. That's the reality of it. Most people don't want to do that. That's why 95% of them are in this lack. They also rather pop pills for quick, temporary situations as a solution versus working on the root cause of it. They also, besides popping the pills from the doctor's office, like I said, or choose your bottle, prescription or alcohol, or choose your drug, basically. These type of people that are so much in lack, they're the type of people that they always got to have their alcohol. They go to a social party, they got to have their alcohol because they cannot figure out how in the world to get along with other people without their alcohol to help calm their nerves. They get social anxiety. That's all signs of lack in their life. But people tell you that it's normal. The doctors tell you that it's normal to have this. It's not. What's not normal about it is that it's not normal to have this much lack in your life where you're not removing the root cause. And traditional ways of talking about it only creates more of that problem of talking about that problem creates more of it. They're also frugal with their money. So they'll buy stuff so instead of buying like the name brand, so say for example, everybody's like, oh, I love Tupperware, but they hate MLM. Okay, but you do realize that Tupperware is a direct selling marketing company. Okay, Tupperware is. And Tupperware has such high quality products that they are virtually indestructible. And I know that from personal experience with Tupperware, they're like virtually indestructible because they have such high quality. Everybody knows about Tupperware. Meanwhile, they're like, oh, you get these people that are so frugal with their money. It's like unbelievable. They won't go buy Tupperware to store their food in from yesterday. No, they go buy Rubbermaid. Seriously? Rubbermaid, Ziploc bags. What are you doing? I mean, like, you're just showing yourself how much lack you're living in. And you're not buying quality, you're buying cheap. Any idiot that can go buy Rubbermaid, a Ziploc bag, like anybody can buy those. And a lot of people aren't even buying the actual name brand Ziploc. They buy the Equate brand, for example. Okay, so that's the biggest signs of lack. They're very frugal with their money, or cheap is that term for it, versus buying actual quality. They'd rather get something for free, because free is like free? You said free? Okay, I'll do it. Oh, you said that changing my life was going to cost X amount of dollars? But and I won't have this problem anymore? Are you sure about that? Yeah, okay, I won't do that because that requires 1, too much work. 2, it requires having to have money. 3, it requires me actually having to do the work. Nope. That's the type of people that are in lack. This is how they show up in life, people that have this lack. They're very conservative on electricity, as an example, to keep their bill low. Their children, their food, as examples, are expensive. Food is so expensive. Gas is expensive. Children are expensive. They buy cheap food, like at McDonald's, versus actual quality meals. Instead of paying $40 at McDonald's, you could take and make that exact same meal a lot healthier. So this way it drops your high blood pressure, your high cholesterol, it drops all the fat on your body. It also helps you feel better about yourself. You're not eating a ton of chemicals that are keeping you to help you get cancer, and you're not consuming all these chemicals in this food. Instead, you go to the stuff and you can go buy groceries at the store and make the exact same food for a fraction of the cost of what you paid at McDonald's. Plus, you can also get it where it's healthier. You know what's in the food. I'm just saying, like, that's the people that have this lack. They're always like at the drive-through instead of making it themselves. They also shows up in life for this lack is that they value money over their life or the life of others. How many people went through the whole mask up deal in 2020, 2021, 2022? Yeah. They claim that their life is valuable. So then they'll do what they're told to do, basically. On this part is where I'm getting at. Because they value their money over their life. So for an example is that before the whole mask up thing, everybody was like, I'm going to work whether I'm sick, I got influenza, I got pneumonia, no big deal. I'll still go to work. I don't care. I have to show up at work. Do people not understand? I have to be at work. Okay? Those are those people. Because they care more about money than they care about their life. And it's really sad and pathetic if you think about it, that they are so trained into that a job is more important than themselves. That's really sad if you think about it. I'm not making fun of these people. I'm telling you straight out, it's really sad that they get to that mindset of they're not valuable at all whatsoever. Because when you do see yourself as valuable, you're like, I don't feel good. And when you do care about other people, you're like, you know what? I have influenza. I have this. I have that. I'm going to stay home. When you value other people, you value yourself first. You take care of your health first. And you worry about other people and their health. People that's where the rich are different. They actually are like, no, I'm taking care of myself. Now, that also shows up in your life is you're not investing in yourself in order to change. These people, again, that have this lack, they're choosing to not invest in themselves. They're saying, oh, that's too expensive. Really? But you had no problem buying that $50,000 truck that you really didn't need right now. You could have gotten by with a $5,000 truck, but yet you needed the $50,000 truck. Let's see. What's another way that they also invest in themselves? They invest in their fun toys, the four-wheelers, the ski jets, the snowblower, not the snowblower, but the snowmobile is what I'm trying to say. They invest in the little toys, the trinkets of life that they really, truly don't need. And that's why they live paycheck to paycheck, the 67% of Americans that do, because of their lifestyle habits are horrible. And so they show this. So this is how it shows up in life. They buy vehicles to impress people that they'll never meet. And most people don't even care what you drive. Just like nobody cares what's in your pants either. Okay, so they also blame others. They blame the situations for their problems, which is different than so when people have this lack, when it's showing up in their lives, they will blame other people. They'll blame their situations. They'll play the race card. They'll play all these other cards like, oh, it's my sex is the problem. Oh, it's my age is the problem. It's all these other things instead of actually taking responsibility for saying, you know what, I screwed up. I shouldn't have done this choice. I should have made a different choice. Okay. And rather than taking action and getting the same result, no matter how many ways it's done, something different, including different offers. Okay. So that's different. So like, I'm trying to understand my handwriting here on this at the same time. Different than, okay. So then go to the next one because totally lost myself there. So how it also shows up in your life for this lack is you're not grateful that bills are paid or even have them. I don't know about you, but my situation right now, I'm living with my mom. I would be so incredibly grateful and thankful to have a house payment because there's most people out there that are bitching about having to make a house payment. and they're complaining about having to make a vehicle payment for the choice that they made to go get that vehicle. Okay. And that's one of the things with the slack. You need to be thankful that you've got bills, because there's somebody else that would kill to have that exact same bill that you have. Like I said, house, that would be one of them. A vehicle payment that is affordable, that is an actual need, versus, oh, I just bought this just because I'm like, oh, my other vehicle had this and that, and I just didn't want to fix it. Okay. I basically drive my vehicles until the wheels fall off. Just saying. Big difference. And I don't buy them brand new either. Have you seen the way people drive? Have you seen the way people are disrespectful, dinging and denting doors without letting you know, hey, I scratched your door, I ran into your vehicle? Yeah. Not buying new ones, because people are very disrespectful on how they treat other people's properties. And that's another way that people show up in lack and disrespect for other people. They're also scared to take risks to advance themselves in life. Like I said, they're not going to own their own business, and they don't even want to own their own business or have a job promotion. Say they're doing really good at work. They're not going to be the type of person that's going to say, you know what, I want to be HR. I want to be a supervisor. I want to be a lead. It's usually their boss that's saying, you're going to be doing this job now. I'm just saying, this is some of the ways that this lack shows up. They also don't have any confidence. There's a lot of people that have little to no confidence or self-esteem. And the reason, again, for that is because they have that lack, and this is how it shows up in your life. They're also scared to dream, so they live how others want them to live, like their family, their career, etc. How other people tell them to live is how they're going to live. Have you ever noticed, like, why there's one doctor in the family, like the mom or the dad is the doctor, then one of the children go out to be a doctor? It's because of what they've seen growing up is why that gets repeated. But then that child that grows up and like, I didn't want to ever be a doctor. I actually wanted to be something else, like a mechanic. Okay. There's nothing wrong with being a mechanic, because we all need them. And there's nothing wrong with being a doctor unless you're like most doctors that are getting burnt out in the field. And I know that from talking to doctors, talking to nurses, how burnt out they are. And then they're also finding out a lot of stuff in the medical community. Okay. So some of the ways you can get out of this lack is being aware of the signs that I just gave a whole bunch of them. And then also saying and writing down everything you're grateful for. So every day I write down 3 things, bare minimum, that I'm grateful for. I'm so happy and grateful that my husband woke up today, and so did my kids. I'm so happy and grateful that I have a beautiful office that I get to pay for. I'm so happy and grateful that I have this ability to use social media to get my business out there. Even though I don't like social media, I still am so happy and grateful that I have that ability to do it, because I'm going to be reaching more lives than if it was just me and one-on-one without social media. Another way to get out of lack is being thankful and saying what you are thankful, that you are thankful to have money to pay bills. Like, I'm so happy and thankful that I've got an office rent bill. I'm so happy and grateful that I have that. Focus on the feeling of the end goal. So, for example, that's that task completion. How will you feel when you no longer have that lack? You're going to feel confident. You're going to feel happy. You're going to feel motivated. You're going to be like, yes, I did it. You're going to have a positive attitude. So you want to focus on that end result. Also, to get out of this lack, besides focusing on the feeling and being thankful, hiring a hypnotherapist like myself, where I can help coach you and help change your mindset to shift you towards that abundant feeling. How will you feel when you have that abundance? I bet you're not going to feel angry all the time. I guarantee you're not going to be another day, same shit, different day attitude. Yeah, that doesn't exist when you've got abundant mindset. When you've got abundant mindset, you're like, oh my God, I've got so many possibilities. There's so many ways I can help people. Oh my God. There's like 50 different ways I could seriously make money to help other people right now. You are very much people oriented when you're in that abundant mindset. when you're in that better leadership mindset. And you can only get that with hiring a hypnotherapist. Traditional ways, honey, ain't going to cut it. Traditional ways are the best ways to stay stuck. They're the best ways to keep talking about the problem, bringing that back into your life. Then traditional ways, unfortunately, many people are now finding have failed for decades, but yet we still call it medical care. Okay. And I'm not saying that we don't need doctors, because we do. I'm just strictly stating facts that we have known for years on the traditional ways, how they're not always accurate. Anybody remember? I'm not old enough to remember, but anyone that is old enough to remember when doctors said, and therapists and all these other doctors and people like that whatever, would sit there and say, smoking is good for you. Smoking helps lose weight. Yeah, all you needed to learn how to do was deep breathe and learn how to deal with your problem. But doctors promoted that stuff. They also promoted other stuff that now we call drugs, because the FDA wants to make sure that they get their cut on that. Just saying. So also another way to get out of that lack is being open to changing the way you view things around you. Like I just gave you an example. Everybody's like, oh, you can't say bad things about, the traditional talking, like talking about the problem. Yes, anyone's going to feel good when they talk about the problem. I'm not sorry at all. But when I got a problem, I talk to God about it. And then I feel better, because he actually gives me a solution that comes from within myself, that he allows me to have through reading his word, that says, you know what, this is something you could do different. This is something you can change. So I am working on that, because I do realize that a lot of people would like me to be something that I'm not. They want me to be happy-go-lucky all the time, build people up all the time. I can't do that, because that's not real life. What is real life for me right now, currently, today, is saying, you know what, I'm doing my best to help people with what I have, because I'm going to promise to God that if he will help me live my life more abundantly, more fulfilled with finances, because that's the only area that I'm working on. I don't need to work on the other areas. I've got all those areas mastered. What I'm saying is that if I can have more of this abundant wealth that I need for my family, I will go out and I will help other people. I will teach them how to have more money, more abundance in their life. And that's what I'm doing, because I live for God. I don't live for people. I'm just saying. So that's where I'm getting these. And what I'm doing with these is that I'm getting this information, like I said yesterday, from Trash Man to the Cash Man, with Myron Golden. I'm getting this information, the signs of lack, from personal experience. I'm also getting the signs of lack of what I've seen around me in this world. If you watch anyone, you just go somewhere and you just watch people. They're always on their phones and they're just scrolling, wasting their life away instead of talking to somebody, or instead of, some people do work on their phone. So I do get that, because I'm one of those people that do work on my phone, but I'm not on it all the time, just like head down. Why do you think you got neck problems, by the way? Okay. And the reason why some of these problems exist is because it's social media, yes, but it's also, we're supposed to be social. We're supposed to have that one-on-one conversations, and a lot of people forgot how to have those conversations. So at the end of this, what I want you to know is that yesterday, day one, I went over the rich versus the poor people. Now today, I went over the signs of lack, how it shows up in your life, and how to get out of that lack. And now tomorrow, I'm going to give you even more tools of how to work with moving towards the abundance. And I do have this program, like I said, it's called Live to Lead. I have the license for 5 months. And it is a great way, this Live to Lead is truly a great way to start opening your mind to the possibilities of developing yourself. Because there's a lot of people that say, oh yeah, I want to do something. And maybe they don't got the finances, and that's fine. What I'm saying is that this is a low cost, high value product that you could get virtually, watch it for 5 days, let me know what you think, and see where you want to take your life. Because the worst thing you can do is keep living your life the way that you have been and complaining about it, and then wondering on your deathbed why you didn't do anything great. I mean, there's so many people that could do more in their life, and they just choose not to. And it's very sad And it's a lot of it's because of the people that were in their environment, because you're always going to be the average of the 5 people that you're around the most. So I should let everyone go, but I want to let you know that I'm Robin Stoltman, that I'm America's #1 intuitive parenting expert. I'm leading the way in the parenting mindset communication, because ultimately, like, I was going through my stuff recently and I'm like, I really help parents communicate with themselves. Everything have ever done in my entire life is communication based. That's from knee high to a grasshopper. I'm just saying. Kids would always ask me how to help them solve the problems. That's something I've always done since I was a kid. I've solved other people's problems. They've come to me for their problems, and that's what I still do, except now I get paid for it in a non-traditional way of things. So I appreciate your time and your energy as always, and go out there and make it a great day. Ultimately, you have that choice whether or not you do that, but I really hope that you decide to become better and develop yourself more in life, because ultimately that's a gift for yourself, but it's also a gift to your children and those around you.